It's nice to be part of your day today. This is Enterprise Television, and you're watching Enterprise Morning, reaching you from our global headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria. I am Henry Igubike.
And I'm Choma Kohe.
All right, in a jiffy, we'll be going to our newspaper headlines to see all that we have for you this morning, and right after that will be conversation also for today, so we'll get everything all sorted out for you. Please do well to be part of our community. Join our tribe and have a say in what we say. We are at enterprisetvnews.com, and also you may like, comment respectfully, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. With us today in the studio to do justice to all that we have from our newspaper platforms, and of course to possibly in conversation today. We have journalist Cyril Abaku, and also he doubles as a public affairs commentator. Good morning to you, Cyril.
Good morning, Cyril.
And also we have a barrister in the house, Barrister Van Sofeli, a barrister law and public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, barrister.
Good morning, thank you.
Welcome, gentlemen.
My pleasure.
All right, so let's kick-start our morning today with the first daily on our desk. It's coming from the Guardian newspaper, and we have it on the bottom strip of that newspaper. Nigerians spent 1.4 trillion naira on epileptic power. Discos owned 385 billion naira.
Instead, on the bottom strip, high exchange rate spikes. Price of cooking gas by 69.15% in 1 year. Details are on page 8.
All right, we still have EFCC ICPC accuse lawmakers of executing constituency projects through proxies.
FEC OK's plan to strengthen national value system in schools. Details are on page 7.
All right, the United Nations General Assembly, Nigeria demands a Security Council seat. Well, that's a tall dream if you ask me, but let's see how that goes actually.
Okay, after Edo, APC vows to clinch Ondo Anambra Rivers.
All right, let's get to our big story here. Non-profit businesses. Amid the low impact, over 174,100 new NGOs established in 4 years. Joma, take it away from there.
Yeah, and however, as of November 2023, the total number of entities have grown to 5,169,944. And the breakdown showed that companies that were created were about 2 million, and business names were about 2 million, and NGOs stood at 191,278. And the Guardian obtained these figures from the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC.
Wow, that's a big one. But Stefan Sofeli, please speak to us on this. This is your forte, because you have the opportunity of counseling and speaking to people in this sector. Speak to us on this. When NGOs are becoming businesses on those who have established it, doesn't that defeat the reason why it's supposed to be set up in the first place?
Yes, it defeats the objective because you don't have serious monitoring. CAC don't leave their office to go monitor whether the NGO you registered, you are truly operating as an NGO, or you are operating as a business. As an NGO, you're not supposed to do business. You're supposed to focus on your core objective. The reason for the registration, the objective, the vision, and the mission is supposed to be for public cause. Now, but you see why this is increasing. By the way, businesses are more in their statistics. But NGO has just, Now, see what is going on. I'll take it from one angle. If you look at the United Nations SDG goals, okay, those goals are, their projection of what the world should be. NDG now is 2030. It's going to expire in 2030. NDG expired already, had 16% performance, low quality. SDG is also going that way. Now, these NGOs that exist that actually have the objective of carrying out these public causes operates, and they rely on corporate organizations for funding, CSR donations, to enable them carry out those objectives. And they also apply for grants and all that. What is going on today is that many companies, instead of giving NGOs funding to go carry out public causes. Many companies are now establishing their own NGOs.
Because don't you think it's because they feel that those NGOs, those individual NGOs are not living up to expectation? So it's better they start up their... Yes.
Part of it is the NGOs are not living up to expectation. But the deeper reason is that these companies are using the NGOs to get grants. Now, if you have two companies, for example, one very popular, the likes of maybe these bottle companies, bottle drink companies that are popular all over the world, and they now have an NGO. Okay, if the NGO apply for grants, and a random NGO anywhere apply for grant, who gets credibility? The people who are evaluating this week believe more in the company existing that have this NGO than the one that is random. So they use their brand strength. They use it to becloud this non-governmental organization, set up their own, get grants, and ultimately don't use it for the purpose. Both the companies and the NGOs who start from scratch, they are both culpable of this. You understand? I have applied for grants on many occasions. I've gotten grants a lot over time. But one thing I do is that when I execute from 2016, 17, 18, when I execute, I apply to the body and they bring auditors, they audit the account. And we'll
so your books are always...
Yeah, we'll send the report. There was one we did that my money had gone into it, about 8 million. I didn't know. It was them that they were the ones who did the auditing and told me that this is the issue where you have funding. It's not from us. We don't know how you got it. So that is how it should be done. But where the NGO is just for you to collect the money and go and spend it.
Okay, thank you,
people will keep registering NGOs up and down.
Thank you, Barrister Evans. Cyril Abako, it is believed, according to the CSO, that it's the politicians and the government that is actually influencing the surge in NGOs in the country. Do you think otherwise, or are the citizens learning from the politicians and our leaders?
No, they are not. I think it's the former. You need to look at in every country, the politics determines everything. Sometimes you go to a local government area, a politician is doing what they call constituency project in partnership with, yes, or through so and so. Those are their own NGOs.
Which one of our dailies here is saying they are proxies.
Yes, now. And sometimes a politician could have, or a politician wants to execute a project, whatever it is. And they have their boys who do these things for them. Have you ever asked yourself, when some of them, when they are out of office as governors, as whatever, what do they go into? Is this NGO thing? And a lot of them, the gathering report should be a part 2 to tell us how many politicians have firms that take government contract. It's like all the fingers of the hand are swelled. Former commissioner, former governor, when they leave office, what do they do? How do you think they survive? They are the ones who take all the government contracts.
So are we talking about government contract? Are we talking about individuals who set up businesses or non-governmental organizations? Because non-governmental organizations are supposed to be not profit-driven. Yes.
I was saying that the guidance should do part 2 of the story. And I delved into that. Let's come back to the matter on the table. And first of all, something happened. For some time, because of course, I said, in every country, the politics affects everything. For a long time, government neglect and so on, international bodies have been worried. How can they come in to help schools without notebooks, without chalks, without classrooms. So instead of places where NGOs have gone to sink boreholes for communities that had nothing. When you go to places where they're defecating in the same water and drinking from it, NGOs have come to help. What can we do? Let's do a small bridge. Let's train community people online. So somehow, when they see that people are getting grants, so they're saying, okay, wait a minute, I'm out of school and I'm nothing doing, and this NGO have come. Sometimes when they come, they hire local hands to help them. Then after maybe 2-3 years, they are seeing that this thing can work because, and they spend a lot of money because it's grant that you may not have to go and account for per se in the early days. So people began to see that this thing could be lucrative. Now, politics of corruption entered that space. Almost every at the point in the Niger Delta during the military, everybody had an NGO. Everybody. Because when they are talking about reintegrating the militants, how can they now learn skills? How can they, everybody yes. So it became politics in itself. Then one doctor of sociology told me, he said, Cyril, Europe didn't recover this way after World War II. What they are doing now is what he called NGOization of development. We were not this bad that time. Then there was still some level of credibility, but he felt that NGOs shouldn't be the ones doing everything. You know what I mean? Because foreign NGOs are also used as listening posts for foreign powers, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So there was a danger in it, which government couldn't care much about as far as what they were not doing, somebody else was doing it. But where we are today is that a lot has gone bad and awry. So much that it has become a big, you see, Gabriel said non-profit businesses in quotes.
Yeah.
It's a business. People are all kinds of things. Go to Borno. Borno is the new place, the new this Boko Haram. It was exactly every inch of the square there's an NGO because of course reintegration, aid, food delivery and everything. NGOs have become the new corruption actually. There are good ones among them, don't make a mistake about it. I know of a particular group in Abuja that when some some critical donors, some of the well-known global donors want to give money, they will not give to the Nigerian government. They will give it to that NGO to organize the trainings and programs for government institutions. Okay, so there are still those that are known to be, I mean, they have the technical skills and know how, so you can't do anything about them. But to be arrested 174,000.
174,100.
What are they looking for?
Okay, now everything that I've got.
That's unemployment, Chama. It's unemployment.
And it's believed that whatever has an advantage, I've got a disadvantage, and too much of everything is good. If in 4 years we are having 171,000, 174,000, how do we see this projecting itself in the coming years? And looking at the insecurity that is in the
I'll answer you quickly, in case Barrister wants to weigh in. See, these matters aren't going to go away anytime soon. Don't let us deceive ourselves. If you doubt it, count how many lawmakers are in, let's even say Lagos State, for example. From councillor to chairman, to House of Assembly member, to the speaker, to the governor, and then cabinet members. Go to the houses. Just take a day out, whether it's in a highbrow area or just go to the houses and see how many hangers on. How many hangers on, proper, when I mean hangers on, dependents are following them about per day. And how much they have to spend to keep those guys, you know, going with them. Some of them, they'll tell you, is the DG of social NGO, is the director of social NGO. Those are avenues for all kinds of things, but they are following them. You know why? Because there's no, so did they your boss want to empower you? When it's all your money, what are you going to give them? If I can't give you cash like that, there must be a name. You know what I mean? There must be a vehicle by which you be empowered. And now, so that's what you're seeing. But you just go and check how many people. I'm not talking of those who, if you live on this street, Henry, and you declare this evening that you want to be the next lawmaker representing this place in either Abuja or Lagos somewhere. But you say this evening, by tomorrow morning, this gate, you can't leave this gate anymore. The ones who need to pay school fees. I'm telling you in real life, the ones who have children in the hospital, the one whose wife is about to put to bed the following day, the one whose son has been sent back from school, the one who needs to pay house rent, they will all come in their homes and say, Oga, Ebin Power, help us out. Now, that is layer one. You are 3 months away from election. That's layer one. It should be now you declare. Then, you see, because you need people who, your strategy team and so on, everybody, we've left that farm where we found ideas, where we cultivated ideas. We are that place. They will come around you. They will come. Right. So when they come, what are they looking for? Won't they empower them?
No, I don't think we should quarrel with the numbers. Because we are trying to say that because the thing is growing, therefore, it's because people are using it for that purpose. That's why a lot of people are registering it. I don't agree by that.
Why?
No, I don't. The reason I don't agree is because if you notice, there are so many areas where there are lapses. The government have failed ostensibly in many areas. Okay, today as we speak, there is no viable area where the government is functioning. Nature above vacuum. Whether people are registering NGOs, pretending that they are going to fix those areas. It's a different conversation. But I don't think quarreling with the rise in number is the answer to the question. The answer to the question is that government should function. If government is functioning effectively and you have this rise in number, then we'll hold the NGOs accountable. But if government have failed everywhere and you're having a rise in number, then you cannot quarrel with that number because they are coming to fill a void where government have failed.
All right.
There are good NGOs. I've seen NGOs that have done so well. No matter if you say they are corrupt, investigate them and do that. The churches today who registered NGOs, registered NGOs and foundations, which is called NGO, and started schools, educational foundations, that is an NGO. You are not supposed to make money from it.
But our church is supposed to be NGOs.
Churches are NGOs.
NGOs, right?
Yeah, the NGOs.
Yeah, but
now when they register this NGO, which is a church, you have trustees. Now this body also go to register foundations. The same educational foundations and NGO.
A subset.
Yes, a subset. Now you now use those schools to make people. If your members can't attend those schools, so at the end of the day, nobody is even talking about that because we think that until you say NGO, that's the one that's NGO. All churches in Nigeria register under Part C of KAMA, which is where you register NGO. They are all NGOs. They are subset foundation education, but they are all NGOs. But they are using this school to collect money and they are doing business with it.
All right.
When they register bookshop, the same time doing business with it.
But the guardian.
So it counts for those numbers. When you see, hold on, you see that number? 60% of that number are churches.
60% of churches.
Yes, because the church is also hustle. That's what they are doing. So don't just think it's NGO, all these NGO. Over 60. Count how many churches you have on the street. They are all NGOs. So you're going to have more. So we shouldn't quarrel with the number just yet.
All right. While we dwell on that, one area I think that's so very important is trying to see how we can exfoliate, the desires of those who've created these NGOs and, of course, the real mission of
the
NGOs.
Say amid low impact. That was what.
Amid low impact.
Yes. So government is failing. NGOs may be rising to but their impact is also neither here nor there. So
all right. So quickly, just before we wind up for today, let's go to Daily Trust quickly, and the big story here: Samoa agreement. Ombudsman asks a Daily Trust to apologize. Says newspaper story inaccurate. Federal government handling poor, and praises complainant respondents for voluntary submission.
Okay, on the top strip of the Daily Trust newspaper, Israeli strikes kill 356 in Lebanon.
All right, CBN moves to replace the sacked directors.
Okay, moving on. Federal government to establish National Citizens Value Brigade in school.
All right, just in 90 90 seconds, if we may, let's look at these two stories. Number one, let me start with you, Cyril Abaku. Ombudsman asking Daily Trust to apologize. As a media professional, do you think it's good enough for a newspaper house, for a media house, to publish what it seems as its point of view, right, and rather a desire to retract that? Do you think it's good for journalism?
It's not good for journalism, but again, good or bad in this case. Let me explain what I mean by it's not good for journalism. Our age-old magazine, I think was it C.P. Scott, or I can't pick the name of the man who made the quote, but I think it was from the Guardian of the UK, when he said, "Facts are sacred, comment is free." So, if a newspaper is to, even if it was to give an opinion on editorial, it cannot editorialize still, but it can be an editorial. But we are not talking about an opinion. It was a report that was to be based on facts. And for the ombudsman to be saying now that the paper should apologize, it means it didn't get its facts.
It turned out inaccurate.
It turned out to be inaccurate.
But the ombudsman, how sure are we that he understands what is being said here, or are they on the part of the government? Because we can have an ombudsman that's not.
Let me say that what I understand about the ombudsman is a body that was set up by the media professionals themselves, who came together to say, before NBC takes anybody to court, before we come to the ombudsman,
let's mediate.
What mediate?
Yes.
Now that
Is it not the Public Complaint Commission?
No, the newspaper houses, they have
media.
a body
The newspaper house have their own.
Yes,
ombudsman.
exactly.
They recently set up their own ombudsman. So say if you have any issue against us, come bring to the ombudsman. Let us. So since and Daily Trust has boldly taken it on their as a banner story, right, as major headline. So and I didn't quite see any rider to counter what the ombudsman said, which means it appears to me that even they are owning up to the mistake that the ombudsman said they've made. The honorable thing to do is actually to apologize.
Really?
Although of course, media has to apologize. Although personally, I do not think that the Samoa agreement was misreported.
Was misreported.
Yes, I do not think that the report about Nigeria signing off something that had this old homosexual. I don't think it was a misreporting.
Reproductive rights.
Yes, that's what they call it. But the meaning, I mean, I've been doing this work a long time. The implication was that we signed off on an agreement that will force us to adopt and implement a policy that will compromise our anti-homosexual laws and so on.
To expand your sex view.
Well, you see what he's saying. So that's what I say. I do not think that the reporting on the Samoa agreement was wrong. That thing was factual
So the issue there is interpretation.
Well, so I mean, if it is a matter of interpretation, then Daily Trust legal advisor should have told them, and then they should have stood by what they reported.
Yes.
But the fact that they are caving in, I mean,
Okay,
see what they did in the Samoa agreement. The Samoa agreement have coded words. You see, they won't come out and tell you expressly that you are signing up for reproductive rights, and that reproductive right means you can have male, female, man and animal, whatever. Don't state all that. They use very coded words that have deep and extended meaning other than what is expressed. You understand? So it was when we had already gone into it and had signed that people said, wait a minute, they started looking at the intent of the legislation itself, the agreement. It's supposed to be a bilateral. Now they started looking at it and we're seeing all those issues on sexual preferences and that. And we already have a standing law in the country that prohibits it. Okay. So the moment we all allow the Samoa agreement to become part of the agreement, then in a way, we have used it to repeal our existing law on it. Then all the promises therein, there's a huge amount of money that's supposed to come along with it. What's the money for? Why? Where is it coming from? Why should I sign an agreement bilateral and the next thing saying that all member states will get this money? From where is the money coming from? For what purpose is the money? You understand? Then there are other incentives. Who is behind the door? You understand? Beating this drum. That when you become a member state, then you are now special. Money you get. So this is how these very obnoxious activities of men, this is how they fester. They come very juicy. They come with a lot of, before you know it, your citizens have caved in, you know, in a country where there's poverty. When you mix, in my language, they say that ego banoya ya fubonwe.
What that means?
That is if hunger meets sorrow. Okay? Both is a cataclysmic misfortune. You understand? So we are not going to, that is why I like the fact that there was an upsurge against it. It does not matter what ombudsman thinks, because ombudsman, they are looking at the expression. The express mention of this does not mean the other. But that is not, so it's better. I like the way the media went about it and they stalled it. So it's apology they're asking for. Right apology. That's all. It does not reduce you as long as we all raise our voice against that and we're able to shave it off. And the fact that it has not been adopted by Section 12 of the 1999 Constitution. So it couldn't have gone anywhere in the first place.
Very, very true.
It was good there was resistance.
And Choma, you see, this penchant for cross-dressers now, all over social media. Every young man wants to be a cross-dresser.
The truth is, there are a lot of opportunities
It's crazy.
for them because
Opportunities for them.
Yes, there are a lot of
And that's
opportunities,
exactly what we're talking about
yeah,
here. It's what Barrister did say.
outside the country, they have they have the funds and they want to actually.
But that doesn't make it right, actually.
It doesn't make it right.
Yeah,
And some persons are actually doing it for the better, just looking at the future for them, and they want to escape.
Escapism.
Yeah, the country we're in.
It's bad, and it's bad. All right, that's just about the size of our segment today. We'd love to say thank you to Cyril Abaku, Professor Fasofeli. Thank you as always.
My pleasure.
All right.
When we return, Younger Africa accuses INEC of manipulating Edo governorship election results. Stay with us.